Yo, 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 playing the game, that's it back again. Alright, we are playing Waltz's route, the last route of the 5 people of Cinderella phenomenon. Um, I'm not a fan of Waltz. Not that he's bad or anything, it's just, I don't get the hype, you know? Uh, I don't get the hype of Waltz. Like, my friends all were like, oh my god, Waltz, best boy. And I'm just like, where? Where is this best boy quality? I don't see it. So, I guess we're starting on his route. Yeah, let's start. The Witch Queen. Ah, right. Like, ah. No! Oh my goodness, no. Protect our kingdom. I will always be with you. I'm trying my best, father. But in the last month alone, there have been 4 incidents caused by corrupted witches. 4? And the month isn't even over yet. I groan as I sift through the documents in front of me. After so many hours of looking at them, the words have begun to blur together. It has been 3 hours since I convened in here with Delora and Walt to discuss magic-related incidents around Angeli. We have heard testimonies from various witches, so there can be no mistaking that we have been told witches corrupted by the Tenebrerum have been wreaking havoc in Angeli. As the bearer of the Tenebrerum crystal, it is my duty to make sure they are punished for misusing their magic. And as the Queen of Angeli, it is my responsibility to make sure they are punished for their crimes. I told my father I would protect this kingdom, but some days I feel like I'm not up to the task. The gloomy thought weighs down on my shoulder. It makes me feel small and weak. But then I feel a familiar warmth, Walt settling his hand over mine. He flashes a reassuring smile. He does not speak, but I know that what he would say if he opened his mouth. Your burdens are mine to carry as well. I turn to him and whisper softly beneath my breath. Thank you. Waltz just nods and we turn back to the conversation. Why is he turning away? So dramatic. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is gonna be the same as Chevalier's route. I'm just gonna scrutinize everything Waltz does because apparently he's best boy when I don't think so. Uh why am I like this? Even just a cursory interrogation shows that these witches are Hilder's followers. Mother, even after your death, we still feel the effects of her corruption. Right now, the best thing to do is tighten security and add more witches to the kingdom in patrols. I will do as you command, Lord Waltz. Calmly, Waltz designated duties to the witches we currently have employed at the palace. For the last 2 years, I've been trying to mend the relationship between witches and humans. I expected the number of humans' hate crimes to have dwindled by now, but this is not the case. I am not doing enough. I eventually dismissed the witches with a wave of my hand, but Delora and Waltz remain. I let out an exasperated sigh as I set my chin on the table. Tired? I am fine. Lucette has been running herself dry. I bolt upright with a frown. Trouble in paradise? The nightmares are starting to get bad again. You did not have to tell her that, Waltz. The nightmare Waltz referring to are a side effect of being the Tenenbaum bearer. When I was overfilled with negativity, those negative emotions plagued me in the form of nightmares. The only way to deal with those nightmares is to balance out the crystallum, and that requires finding and dealing with a major source of negativity. Waltz shakes his head. You know I only ever tell on you because I'm worried. The last thing I need is to be lectured by an overbearing witch right now. I'm not going to baby you, Lucette, but you know I'm always here when the going gets tough. I sympathize with you, truly. Being both the bearer and the queen is a colossal responsibility. It would take a toll on anyone. Still, you need to take better care of yourself, otherwise you're going to worry the rest of us to death. I've already said multiple times you are all better off not worrying about me. Dolores snorts, as if we could have ever just ignore you. Parfait left you in my care, Lucette. It's my responsibility to watch over you, whether you like it or not. I am fine, Laura. I just need to rest. Hmm? Laura turns to Waltz. You ought to pamper your soon-to-be wife more, Waltz. Waltz laughs softly, sheepishly. I try, but you know how stubborn Lucette can be when she sets her mind on a goal. Then try harder. Waltz salutes. Yes, ma'am. The bender brings the briefest of smiles to my face. Speaking of which, any news on the marriage? You've put off the wedding ceremony many times now. You know the reasons why. Dolores sighs. I know you're busy, but the least you can do is treat yourself to a wedding. She clicks her tongue. Or are you planning to make Waltz wait forever? Waltz smiles. He sounds like me. Oh my god, maybe I don't like him because he sounds like me. I mean, this is the kind of thing I'll say. I'm happy to wait forever if I need to. The ceremony never mattered. Because I have some friends who just never respond to messages or say anything to me. Well, they're like I see a message, and if I don't know what they're doing, but they never look at their phone. It could be for days, you know. It could be for days until they look at their phone, and if they say sorry, I'll just say I'm okay. I'm happy to wait forever, because truly I am. Like, there's no rush to respond to a message unless it's urgent, of course. If it's urgent and you don't respond, I'll be a bit frustrated, but I'll understand. Because it's not too good to be on your phone all the time. And you might be busy with your life and stuff, so I don't mind. I don't think I'm important, so that's why I don't see any problem with not responding to my messages. So I know I should be treating myself and treating myself better, but I don't know. That's just how my brain works and how I respond to stuff. He reaches out to squeeze my hand. The important thing is that we're together. My heart trembles at his soft smile. No, Dolores is right. I should not keep putting this off. I want to call you my husband. Waltz leans down to plant a kiss on my forehead. How many years did I wait for you to find me again, Lucette? I'm in no hurry to get married. There are other options in this kingdom who need you more. Oh my god, I just called people options! Oh no! Oh. There are other people in this kingdom who need you a lot more. You two really need to learn how to put yourselves first for a change. Dolores stands from her chair without stretch. Anyway, I'm heading out. Until next time, Lucette. Waltz. Laura raises her hand in a casual wave as she exits the throne room. The room is briefly silent after she leaves. Then Waltz looks at me, eyebrows raised. Hey, you. Hey, yourself. Waltz brings my hand to his lips and lightly presses a kiss onto my knuckles. Laura's right, you know. You really need to take better care of yourself. I do take care of myself. You do the bare minimum. You barely let me spoil you anymore. You spoil me all the time. Not nearly as much as I'd like. Waltz glances furtively towards the door, then smiles, a mischievous smile that makes my heart flutter. Come here. He pulls me off my chair and into his lap, where he traps me in a warm embrace. I wish I could sit on people's laps, but I'm too old. I don't know what about it makes me want to have it. I don't know, maybe I want to be a child again. Because I am quite childish, if you didn't know that. But I have matured, trust me on this one. For example, Okay, let's just stop at I'm childish. I don't know what makes me more mature, but people tell me I've matured. So I trust people's words. Okay. I don't know what makes me more mature. Maybe my thinking. He leans forward, whispering in my ear. I really wish you'd rely on me more. I settle myself against his chest with a sigh. The sound of his heartbeat is calming. Dang, his heart must be pumping really hard for you to feel it on your back? Sure? But, dang, must be really loud. Like, sometimes when I hug my sister, I don't even feel her heartbeat. When I hug people, I don't feel their heartbeat at all. So, I don't know what you're talking about, princess. I've been relying on you too much already. I've been working hard to carry on my father's mission of peace, but it has been exceptionally difficult balancing my responsibilities as both the Tenenbaum Bearer and Queen of Ansley. I do not know what I would do without Waltz, who has been by my side this whole time, helping me resolve Tenenbaum-related issues. In addition, he has also been making time to better understand the kingdom's policy so that he can someday step in to rule beside me. Waltz, the King of Ansley. The thought of us ruling side by side warms my heart. Still, Waltz talks about me overworking myself, when he is definitely working just as hard. I've just begun to relax when I stop, realizing suddenly that I have a meeting with the royal advisors. Today is a meeting about importing minerals and coals from the kingdom of Cadell. I slide off of Waltz's laps with a sigh. The advisors will be here soon. Already? I settle my hands on my hips. Don't you have magic lessons now as well? On top of other responsibilities, Waltz also teaches young witches at the tavern once a week. You're right. You see, I'm not the only one who's busy all the time. Great minds dress alike, I guess. Yeah. Great things, mine alike. He shakes his head. I feel like I barely get to have you to myself these days. I can't help it. The past few months have been very busy. Waltz rises to his feet. How long will this meeting run? I can wait up for you tonight. Maybe we can relax with some tea? I hesitate. The last time I told Waltz to wait up for me, I worked till morning and he was sleepless. Since we now share the same bedroom, he often loses sleep because of me, but I miss spending time with him alone. Perhaps I can wrap things up earlier today. Princess. Oh, maybe it's because I don't really care about this person. I don't care for Waltz as much as I do for Fritz, so if it was Fritz, I would be like, no, baby, please, don't wait for me. Baby boy, don't wait for me. You have to get your sleep. You're still baby. Even though he's older than me. But for Waltz, I care more about the princess than Waltz, so princess, you should just let him spoil you. You know? It's better that way. So just wait for me, no? So long as you do not mind. Waltz cups my cheek. Briefly, he presses his forehead to mine. I never mind. If I take too long, Waltz presses a finger to my lips. No disclaimers. I will wait for you. Thank you, Waltz. I plant a quick kiss on his lips. I'll see you later, Waltz. See you later, little star. New star in the sky. Oh my god, whenever I see the word star, I can't... I keep on thinking about Saburo from Hypnosis Mike. That song sucks, but it's stuck to my head. Oh my god. It's not that the music sucks, it's the lyrics. Not lyrics, like how he says, how he sings it or raps it. Everything else is fine except for the chorus. New star in the sky, new star in the sky. Like, what is that? What is that? Oh my god. No, Saburo, I love you, but why is your song like this? His other song, Requiem, is the jam. It's so good though. So I forgive him for having a bad song. And then after that, a good song? Yeah. Waltz flashes one last smile before leaving the throne room. Hours later, I find myself trailing the advisors who walk through town to visit stalls of traveling merchants. And here I thought we'd be having a quick conversation in the throne room. I'm sorry, Waltz. It looks like I'll be staying out late tonight. A new type of coal? Yes, Your Majesty. Apparently, the neighboring kingdom of Cadell recently discovered a new type of magic-infused coal that gives us an impressive amount of energy. It is also safe for the environment. Truth be told, we have less interaction with Cadell than we ever did with Brigantia. That kingdom is more difficult to reach, so our merchants and nobility have not done much business with them. But it would be foolish to turn away this opportunity to expand our trading with Cadell now. They call it Rasite coal. I believe it would be beneficial to import it to Angeli. The downside, naturally, is that the recently discovered coal is extremely expensive. I still think that the benefit outweighs the cons. They say the coal can burn all night. Our own coal lasts several hours. The Rasite coal may be expensive, but we'll cut down on consumption, maybe even half it. So in the end, we will be spending around the same amount for more efficiency energy source. Precisely. I think it would behoove Her Majesty to see the impact of this coal with our own eyes. But of course, I've already ordered a few samples. May I ask permission to speak, Your Majesty? I'm surprised when one of the knights guarding the room raises his voice in question. Permission granted. I was in town yesterday and I chanced upon a merchant from Cadell showcasing samples of the coal. What a marvelous coincidence! A coinky dinky, if you may. A convenient coincidence. A convenient coinky dinky. Then let us go take a look at this sample. Are you sure, Your Majesty? It's getting dark. Then we must make haste before they close the shop for the day. The advisors looked bewildered. But Your Majesty, it would be more problem to have at all to have the samples delivered. The delivery would be much simpler than an excursion to town, surely. I know what they must be thinking. There is no reason for us to go out of our way to this simple errand. No doubt they are used to servants retrieving things for them. It is fine. I would like the fresh air. The advisors look disgruntled, but neither of them complains. They are here to make an argument after all. For them to dismiss my preference would hardly be in their favor. Besides, the last thing I need is for the discussion to carry on tomorrow. It is about timeliness, of course, but even more that I really needed some fresh air. It has been a long time since I set foot outside the palace. We find the merchant selling coal quickly enough. When he hears of our visit, he clears his stall early and leads us into his inn room instead, where he can better demonstrate the burning effects of the coal. I'm amazed by the lack of ashes at the end of the demonstration. In the end, I decided to chance on the coal, starting first with a small order. Perhaps it will save us some gold in the future. As soon as you sign the documents, please pass them on to me for processing, Your Majesty. I shall. The advisors bow and take their leave. I wonder how quickly I can sign all these. Shall we go, Your Majesty? I allowed the knight to lead me back to my carriage. Wait! I turn on my heels and I'm shocked to see Waltz approaching. He stops in front of us. Sir Waltz? You may leave. I'll escort the Queen to the palace. The knight looks at me, uncertain. I shake off my surprise and nod. Is this really Waltz? I'm scared this is not Waltz. I'm scared this is a witch pretending to be Waltz. So that he can, like, whisk me away. I don't know, I don't trust this. You are dismissed early. As you wish, Your Majesty. The knights depart with the carriage. When we are alone, I turn to Waltz. What are you doing here? Well, you told me to wait for you, but I overheard that you're coming to the town. I figured I may as well come pick you up myself. It allows us to spend more time together. Waltz, you didn't have to come all this way. I wanted to. He eyes the paper in my hand. I also came to tell you your work for today is done. But... no buts. Please allow me to be selfish just this once. You? Selfish? Never. I'm glad you think so. That means you won't complain about going somewhere with me right now, right? Oh, and where would this be? I guess you'll just have to follow me and see. Waltz winks as he takes my hand and leads me away. I'm surprised when Waltz leads me to a forest and the thicket closest to a merchant. I recognize this place immediately. This is where we used to practice magic together. You remembered, and do you remember this? Waltz snaps his fingers. Golden orbs of life spring to life in the darkness, floating like fireflies. A memory resurfaces, warming my cheeks. This is where we first kissed. Okay. I don't get how you can remember um a forest. I mean I'm a city girl, so I mean I've seen a lot of trees together, but I've never been in a forest or trees. I mean, if you got Bukit Timah and um what's it called, McRitchie, as being in a forest, then sure, but they have trails, you know. They have like concrete, sometimes dirt paths, so you're never lost. So I'm not sure how this works. How you remember things like, oh, that tree. I remember that tree. It's blah blah blah. I don't get it. Waltz laughed. I can't put into words how happy I was that night, Lucette. I'd been holding on to that hope that we would be able to pave our future together. And that was the first time I knew for certain you felt the same way. That kiss, it meant the world to me. He steps closer. Was this in the first game? I don't remember. Anything that is not about Fritz, I don't remember. So embarrassing. You mean the world to me, little star? I do remember he's like my childhood friend and he remembers, but I don't remember. That kind of thing. He leans down to kiss me, a soft, gentle kiss that makes electricity shoot through my veins. Afterwards, he pushes a strand of hair away from my face and plants another kiss on my forehead. This is better than sharing tea and biscuits, I think. I wrapped my arm around his waist and leaned my head on his chest. Waltz hugs me back, setting his chin on my head. Setting his chin on my head. Okay. Okay, sure, you're tall. We get it. Sheesh. You see, I'm just like Chevalier. I'm gonna scrutinize everything he does. Even if he doesn't mean it that way, I'm just gonna say that, yeah, you're tall, so what? You can rest your chin on my head. I feel short. Nah. To be honest, it's not that bad because I like feeling short. I like feeling small. I like not feeling small, but I like being smaller than other people. I like being smaller because my childhood friends, my childhood friends and my friends from secondary school, they're all shorter than me. They're all small, but I'm like tall. I don't like that, and sometimes I wear heels and platforms that make me tall. Not because I want to be tall, but because they look stylish. I like them. I agree. Out here, I can forget that I am queen. Out here, alone with Waltz, I can forget that I am a Tenenbaum bear. The two of us be as we were before, just two people in love. I breathe innocent, the smell of pine and leaves, and sigh. What is he, a dog? Did he roll in the grass or something? For just a little longer, I want to stay like this. When I wake up the next morning, Waltz has already left, probably for some important errand. I do not have any meetings for the day, so I decide to remain in my room and focus on paperwork. Sitting here at my desk, I cannot help but remember all those nights Father disappeared, leaving us all alone. He was always talking about being busy. Now I know why. I did not anticipate there would be so much to take care of. My frustration dims to a muddy grief. If Father was still alive, he would be helping me do all this. I wipe at my eyes, which are suddenly glossy with tears. Even though I lost father years ago, the weight of his death still makes me feel breathless some days. I still remember that day, the day my father apologized to me for being so distant, and the day I lost him forever. I miss him. A knock at my door jolts me from my thoughts. I quickly wipe the tears away. Who is it? It is me. May I come in? You may. The door opens, revealing Emmeline, smiling brightly. She holds a tray with biscuits and teacups on it. What is this? You've been locked up in your room all day, so I figured maybe you'd like a tea break. Emmeline sets the tray down on my table. The sweet smells of fresh pastries make my mouth water. I even brought us custard Danish. You like those, right? Emmeline pours us some tea and hands me a cup. Thank you, Emmeline. This is very kind of you. I immediately reached for the custard Danish. As expected, it is delicious. Who baked these? It's heavenly. Mother, she wanted to treat you to something nice. I blink at her. Ophelia? Mother's been wanting to bake something for a while. She knows you've been busy and thought some baked goods might lift your spirits some. Please thank her for me if I do not get the opportunity soon. Of course. While we're talking about your workload, Emmeline props her elbow on the table and looks at me worriedly. How have you been? It's been so long since you spent some time with any of us. I shrug. There are always many things to be done. Maybe, but even the king took breaks. You're gonna burn yourself out if you work non-stop. Father entrusted this kingdom to me. To put myself before it and the people would be selfish. Emmeline reaches for my hand. You're not alone in this, Lucette. We're all here for you. Perhaps, but this is my responsibility. I cannot just heave my burdens onto others. They are all already doing so much to help me. You should take some time off. Maybe go on a date with Waltz. Emmeline laughs when I flush. What? It's been a while since you two went out, right? And he clearly has been missing you. It'd be good for you to go out to town. Maybe. Emmeline smiles. You have no meetings, right? Then you should take the day off. I lean back in my chair with a sigh. Fine, if you insist. We chat a little more over tea before parting ways. Emmeline to the kitchens and I to search for Waltz. I spent 30 minutes searching, but Waltz is nowhere to be found. None of the servants have seen him either. He must have gone to town then. Good morning, Your Majesty. Oops, sorry. Was that too high pitched for the OBS to pick up? I roll at the sound of the voice. It is Fritz approaching with his usual smile. I miss you already, Fritz. I miss you already. Fritz. When I broke all the fairy tale curses, I relieved Fritz of his duties as my personal knight. I no longer needed one with Waltz by my side. Many were wary of Fritz even after I broke his curse. They had reason for it, as Fritz works for both Mother and Mythos while he was cursed. But he did those things as Varric, an alter ego he could not control. I know this, and I pardoned him for his crimes long ago. It is nice to see you out and about rather than locked away in some stuffy room. Fritz angles his head. You look like you're on the hunt for someone. May I ask who? I'm looking for Waltz. Lord Waltz? I overheard he was doing a show in town today. Ah, then today is a puppet show day. Thank you. Are you going up? Shall I arrange an escort for you? There is no need. I'd like to think no one would be foolish enough to try and attack the timber bearer. I am still queen, of course, and the more often than not, I will allow an escort for royal business. But it is nice that I do not have to worry about such things for casual outings. Fitz chuckles. True. Still, keep on your toes, Your Majesty. Of course. Sure enough, I find Waltz in the plaza, crouched behind a makeshift booth, and telling a story with his puppets. He does not even look in my direction when I arrive. He seems preoccupied. I mean, stay for the fun, princess. A puppet show is always fun to watch. Maybe it's because I have a heart of a child? I seat myself on a bench and watch Waltz tell his story. It is a tale about a mighty knight and a fierce dragon. A gaggle of good children sit in a circle around him, completely absorbed. The children really do love him. Half an hour passes. At the end of the performance, the children swarm Waltz, clinging to him and begging for another story. Sorry guys, but it's a little too late for another. The children groan and Martha dishearteningly. I promise I will make the next story even more exciting. But for now, you should get back to your parents so they don't worry. I head over to the booth after the children have scattered, leaning over to look at Waltz, who is on the other side dismantling it. Hey you. Waltz startles. Lucette, what are you doing here? I heard you were doing a show, so I came to watch. I love the part where you roared like a dragon. Waltz laughs a little abashedly. I'll have you know, I've been perfecting that roar for a while. He looks at me curious. I would have invited you out, but I thought you had paperwork to handle. I did, but Emma insisted I take a break, so here I am. She must have been very convincing. He rises, materials in hand. You should have told me you were here. I would have found a way to incorporate you into the show. The children love it when you show up as my assistant. It has been a long time since I helped Waltz with one of his shows. I missed it. You're having so much fun, I did not want to interrupt. The next time you should. As a performer, I love working with spontaneity. Next time then. I hold out my hand and help Waltz up. Shall we head back? The two of us have just begun our walk back to the palace when someone calls my name. Lucette! Queen Lucette! Waltz and I turn in unison to see Annis rushing towards us, Chevalier on her heels. Annis, Chevalier! It's good to see you both. Chevalier looks at me grimly. It's been 84 years. He laughs when I nudge him on the shoulder. You're as melodramatic as always. Perhaps, but it is no exaggeration to say it's been far too long since we last saw you. We've been very busy. Too busy. We barely have any time for each other even. But we try our best. Such is life. How have you both been? It's been business as usual at the clinic. Annis is an excellent assistant. The patients adore her. Everything I've learned from you, Chevalier. You're a great teacher. Chevalier puts a hand to his heart. Annis, my heart is sure to implode if you keep heaping such praises upon me. Annis just laughs at that. She is probably more accustomed to Chevalier's dramatics than any of us by now. It's just the truth. Chevalier and Ennis have been working together ever since Chevalier remembered he was adopted 2 years ago. Ennis says I'd always been interested in following her late father's footsteps. I am glad she has the opportunity to learn more about medicine under Chevalier. You know what else is an undeniable truth? He smiles at me. That we owe a lot of our good business to you, Lucette. All I did was recommend your clinic to a few nobles. It started that way, but now we see so many clients from all over the kingdom. We're truly grateful to you, Your Majesty. You know, it is my pleasure. I eye Chevalier critically. You're accepting their coin, yes? Ennis told me before that Chevalier has a bad habit of refusing compensation for his work. Don't worry, I make sure he takes the payment. All of it. And the clients themselves are quite pushy. As they should be. You're providing a service and should be paid for it. Sage wisdom from Waltz the Big. To this day, I'm completely confused by that nickname. Chevalier, Oh, yes. Chevalier smiles brightly. It's been a pleasure catching up, but we should get going. We're on our way to pick up some much-needed supplies. Surprise! That is definitely more important than conversing with us. Conversing with the Queen of Ansley? Never. Hopefully we can speak again soon. A merchant reunion would be great. Waltz has a forlorn look in his eyes when he suggested. The merchant was a sanctuary for him much longer than it was for me. I know he misses it often. Sometime soon, it's a promise. We exchange farewells before parting ways. By the time we arrive at the palace, my body is wrecked with exhaustion. It seems all the days of sleeplessness have finally caught up to me. I managed a quick bath before collapsing onto my bed. The soft mattress makes me sigh with relief. If only I could spend the next few days sleeping. Lucette? Waltz was in the middle of dressing. Did I say always? Waltz, who is in the middle of dressing, comes to sit on the bed beside me. His shirt lays forgotten on a nearby chair. Are you alright? I am. You look exhausted. Would taking some of that potion help you sleep better? Dolora has already given me many different kinds of sleeping potions, but they may help me fall asleep faster, but they make the nightmares more intense. The mattress creaks as Waltz lays down beside me. He wraps an arm around me from behind before I can turn. The minute he wraps his arms around me, I relax. He's just taking a bath and smells like mint soap. Mint soap? Like toothpaste? He shampooed himself with toothpaste. Ayo, remember when I said remember when I said I have friends who didn't respond to me for a while? This guy didn't respond to me for 2 days and only now is responding. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. So sorry, but I don't care. Sorries are for losers. I'm kidding. It is a soothing, refreshing scent. Is there anything I can do to help me relax? Sometimes I hate Waltz for his hair. What is that haircut? You have like short bangs, but then the back of your hair is long. I don't like that for guys. Tie it up. Tie it up. Oh my god. I don't know. I like guys to have neater hair. Girls can have long hair. They can do whatever they want with their hair. I don't care for girls. They can even have messy bed hair and go out, and I'll be fine with it. But for guys, they can have messy bed hair, but if their hair is long and they don't tie it up, I don't know. It looks messy and I don't like it. Oh, also, tell me a story, I guess. Walt always tells the best stories. Let's see. Gently, he drums his fingers against my hip. Once upon a time, there was a witch who fell in love with a princess. I forget that witches are for Cinderella phenomenon are for for all genders. And the princess was the kindest and most beautiful woman he had ever met. And he knew immediately that she had stolen his heart. I mean, I knew the story was about Waltz, but I forgot that witches are for all genders for this story. Because when I grew up, I was just like, he is. When I said he is a witch, my English teacher corrected me and said, for guys, it's warlocks, and I was like, okay, okay, I get it. But the witch did not want to ask her for her heart unless she gave it to him willingly, until she reciprocated his feelings. So he watched over her from afar and wished for her happiness with all his heart. But then, the princess did fall in love with him. Waltz presses a kiss on top of my head, and he speaks softly into my hair. Yes, and the witch knew he was the luckiest man in all the realm. Did they live happily ever after? I can feel Waltz's smile. I don't know, that future is still being written. A soft silence settles over the room. I hate cliffhangers. Oh? Waltz shifts slightly, propping himself up on one elbow so he can look down at me. I guess you'll have to make time for me every night so you can hear the rest of the story. Neglecting all my queenly duties for a story? That would be awfully irresponsible of me. I reached to tap his cheek. But neglecting them for you? That is dangerously tempting. Okay, I just noticed she's wearing her headpiece. She has her hair all done when she's going to sleep. Girl, girl, you want to look good in your dreams, but oh my god, why? Why is that the first thing that I see and think about? Why do you get your hair ready when you're going to sleep? You took a bath already. Why are you doing this to yourself? You're just gonna make a mess out of it. I shudder when Waltz turns my head and presses a gentle kiss to my wrist. I am the luckiest woman in the world to have someone as good as you to be by my side. Strangely, Waltz falters. His eyes flash with uncertainty. I try my best. His voice uncharacteristically quiet. It is such an abrupt change, I cannot help but get worried. Waltz, is there something on your mind? I was just thinking about the past. He settles back on the pillows and closes his eyes. You remember when we were children, you were guiding my guiding light back then. You still are. And you are mine, Waltz. You still are. Again, there is an awkward silence, but then Waltz smiles. I'm glad the feeling is mutual, Lucette. His eyes are still closed, and I know Waltz well enough to know that he means he's ready to sleep. One moment ago, he was asking me how he could help, but now he seems ready to shut out the world. I hope whatever is bothering him disappears in the morning. Good night, Waltz. Waltz grips me a little tighter. Good night, little star. Mister in the sky. Is the in the sky. Yorimo, fly high, fly high, fly high. Okay, so that was Waltz's first chapter, first read. I think I was being a bit too harsh. What do you guys think? I don't know. I think if my friends didn't say he was best boy and that he was the best out of all of them, I wouldn't be too hard on Waltz. I think I would have been like, "Aw, that's cute." That means he loved us in all the roots, and that's just heartbreaking because if he liked us in all the roots, but we didn't choose him, then tragic. But I don't care. I still like Fritz. Waltz, you can just waltz your way out of here. Fritz, best boy. The thing is, I wouldn't mind if he was like second in place, but he's not. He's not even third. He's like a fourth to me, so he's like the bottom half. I don't. I don't get what the hype is about, so I'm a bit confused. But anyway, like if you like, dislike if you dislike. Subscribe for more episodes like this. I do a lot of visual novels, and we're ending on Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. So if you'd like, you can put down in the comments below what games you want to see me play. I still have a few in mind. Like I look through Steam and it's .igo/games a lot, and look for visual novels. But if you do have something in mind, do tell me so I can like play it and you can see me play it. I don't know if you like me or not. To be honest, do I really care? I'm just doing this for fun. So I think that's all. Thank you for watching and have a good day.